Propaganda, the complete history of shaping minds and controlling narratives. Introduction. Lie, lie, and lie again until people believe you. These infamous words, attributed to Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi minister of propaganda during World War II, summarize the essence of propaganda: repetition and domination of minds. Propaganda is not simply advertising or casual publicity. It is a soft weapon that changes attitudes, directs crowds, and even alters the course of history, often without people realizing they were pieces in a larger game. Defining propaganda and its origins. The word propaganda comes from the Latin phrase Congregatio de Propaganda Fide, Congregation for the Propagation of the Faith, the name of an institution created by the Catholic Church in 1622 to spread Christianity. Over time, the term broadened to mean any organized effort to influence people's thinking through repeated messages, whether based on distorted truths or outright lies. Today, propaganda is usually associated with political manipulation, but in fact it extends to economics, religion, sports, culture, education, and everyday life. Ancient roots, from Egypt to Greece and Rome. Propaganda is as old as human civilization itself. Egypt. Pharaohs inscribed monuments glorifying their divine rule, portraying victories regardless of real outcomes. Greece. In the Battle of Salamis, 480 BCE, the Athenian leader Themistocles tricked the Persians with disinformation, luring them into a naval trap that secured Greek victory. Persia and India. Royal inscriptions depicted kings as chosen by the gods, presenting their reign as destiny. Rome. Emperors placed their faces on coins and statues, turning currency itself into a propaganda tool. Alexander the Great linked his image to deities such as Athena, using coins and statues to present himself as a sacred conqueror blessed by the gods. Religious propaganda. Religion has long been intertwined with propaganda. In 1095, Pope Urban II launched the First Crusade with fiery speeches that demonized Muslims and promised full forgiveness of sins to those who fought. The Catholic Church institutionalized propaganda with the creation of the Congregatio de Propaganda Fide in 1622. In modern times, extremist movements have used propaganda videos and emotional appeals to recruit followers under the banner of faith. Reacher 4. Propaganda in the modern age. With the rise of printing presses, newspapers, radio, and cinema, propaganda reached unprecedented power. Nazi Germany. Goebbels created a ministry that controlled the press, film, art, and education. Films like Triumph of the Will portrayed Hitler as a messiah, while caricatures dehumanized Jews and other enemies. Soviet Union. Posters, murals, and films glorified Stalin, depicting him as the father of progress and peace. Britain and the United States. During the World Wars, propaganda posters such as Uncle Sam Wants You and the iconic Rosie the Riveter mobilized millions. WWII 5. Types of propaganda. Political, smear campaigns, image building, enemy creation. Economic. Corporate battles like the Coca-Cola versus Pepsi Cola Wars. Religious, crusades, sectarian movements, ideological indoctrination. Military. Disinformation, morale boosting, psychological warfare. Educational, curricula promoting state ideologies, e.g. Nazi Germany, Communist China, Soviet Union. Cultural and sporting, Olympics used as showcases of national superiority, Berlin 1936, Cold War competitions. Health and environment, campaigns for or against vaccination, climate change, or lifestyle behaviors. Rectar 6. Tools and methods of propaganda. Repetition. A lie repeated often enough feels like truth. Fear. Overstating dangers to push people toward a savior. Symbols. Flags, anthems, leaders' portraits. Enemy creation. Defining us versus them to unify crowds. Half-truths. Presenting part of reality while concealing the rest. Charismatic leaders. Elevating rulers to divine or heroic status. 7. Psychological and social analysis. Why do people believe propaganda? Psychology provides answers. The illusion of truth effect. Repetition breeds familiarity, and familiarity breeds acceptance. Solomon Asch's conformity experiment showed people align with group opinion even when it's false. Stanley Milgram's obedience study revealed how authority can drive people to act against their conscience. Edward Bernays, the father of public relations, demonstrated how subconscious desires can be manipulated to drive behavior, linking propaganda with consumer psychology. 8. Propaganda in education. From textbooks to classrooms, education has been a powerful propaganda tool. Nazi Germany. Children were taught Aryan superiority. China. Today's curricula include Xi Jinping thought to instill loyalty to the Communist Party. Soviet Union. Schools reinforced Marxist-Leninist ideology. Arab states. Some curricula glorified leaders or demonized enemies. Thus, 9. Propaganda in revolutions and coups. French Revolution. Pamphlets and newspapers rallied crowds against monarchy. Russian Revolution, 1917. Bolsheviks used posters and slogans like peace, land, bread to galvanize workers and peasants. Iran, 1979. Cassette tapes of Khomeini's speeches circulated secretly to spread revolutionary fervor. Latin America. Military juntas often justified coups through campaigns painting opponents as traitors or communists. Arab Spring, 2011. Both regimes and protesters fought a media war on satellite channels and social media. 10. Propaganda in the Cold War cinema. Hollywood produced films portraying the U.S. as the land of freedom, while Soviet cinema glorified socialism. Literature. Orwell's 1984 and Huxley's Brave New World offered dystopian warnings about propaganda's reach. Broadcasting. Radio Free Europe beamed Western ideals into Eastern Bloc countries, while Soviet media demonized capitalism. 11. Digital propaganda. We now live in an era where propaganda has mutated. Social media, disinformation spreads faster than corrections. Bots and trolls, armies of fake accounts manipulate trends and hashtags. Fake news. Misleading stories shape political outcomes. Deepfake videos. Artificial intelligence creates convincing false images and voices. Cambridge Analytica, 2016. Data-driven micro-targeting manipulated millions of voters in the US and UK. Verx 12. Case studies in modern conflicts Ukraine. Both Russia and Ukraine use images, stories, and videos to shape global opinion. Palestine. Competing narratives dominate Arab and Western media landscapes. The War on Terror. Propaganda framed entire populations as potential threats. U.S. elections. Social media disinformation influenced voter behavior. Nabruer. 13. Arab versus Western propaganda. Western media often emphasizes liberal values but can mask foreign policy agendas. Arab media sometimes glorifies leaders or frames conflicts through nationalist or religious lenses. Both share tactics of exaggeration, omission, and emotional appeal, though styles differ with cultural context. 14. Propaganda in sectarian and religious conflicts Middle East. Sectarian media in Iraq, Syria, and Yemen paints opponents as heretics or foreign agents. India. Hindu nationalist propaganda has demonized minorities. Lebanon. Media aligned with sex amplifies division rather than unity. 15. Propaganda in literature and film V for Vendetta. A dystopian vision of totalitarian propaganda. The Great Dictator by Charlie Chaplin. Satirical attack on fascist propaganda. Orwell's 1984. Classic warning about mind control and propaganda. Doxiadis' Uncle Petros and Goldbach's Conjecture reflects obsession with ideas, including propaganda as a motif. 16. Propaganda versus advertising. Advertising sells products. Political propaganda sells ideologies. Both may use emotional manipulation, but propaganda is more systemic and tied to power structures. Nariua. 17. Resisting propaganda media literacy. teaching people to analyze sources critically. Critical thinking, asking who benefits from a given narrative. Multiple sources, avoiding reliance on one-sided accounts. Alternative media, independent journalism as a counterbalance. 18. Conclusion: can we escape propaganda? In every age, from ancient inscriptions to deepfake videos, propaganda has been humanity's constant companion. It shapes how we see reality, and sometimes creates realities of its own. The ultimate question: can we ever be free from propaganda? Perhaps not entirely. But with awareness, education, and critical thought, we can at least recognize the mechanisms at play and resist being passive consumers of falsehoods. In the age of artificial intelligence and the metaverse, propaganda will only grow more sophisticated. The challenge of the future will not simply be to find the truth, but to distinguish it from countless convincing imitations.